Hello. Who are you? Do you want to be on YouTube? No, get off my sandwiches. No, 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 no. This is where we left off, Aubrey Hill, which I make the argument is a watch station. It is in the parish of Chieveley here, and its context is next to an ancient road, Old Street, which passes not just it but Grimsbury, Hillfort. That ancient road, because of the Charter of Dene, the Charter of Dene calls it a strata, which means that the anglo-saxons thought of it as a Roman road. Whether or not it was, in reality, is another point. The road itself is slightly wobbly, but is definitely in a straight line from around somewhere near Wantage to Thatcham, and it joins the Roman road that goes from Silchester to Gloucester, I believe, certainly Cunetio, which is named after the river Kennet, which was Cunatan in Old English times. North of that road is the villa of Boxford, which could very well have been the centre of the estate of which Chieveley was a part in the Roman period. And to the right of that is Bussock Wood, which has a hill fort, quite a dramatic one. It's on private land, it's not easy, well, you have to get permission to go and have a look at it. But that is also mentioned in the Saxon Charter of Chieveley, and it is called the Eldon Biri. And it too has a road that goes past it, called in the Courage Saxon Charter the Herapath. Now, the Chieveley Charter also has a location called the Herapatha, which is on a line with the Courage Herapatha. And on the same line is Gidley Lane, which you can see here, which I believe that you could make the argument that they are one Herapatha, and they join Old Street to Newbury, which is the Roman station of Spenis, now Speenham Land, Speen. That's the context of which we've been having a look at in the last 4 or so videos. There's like what? This is Dene in the Leconster Charter. We're back where we were yesterday,
where I saw the deer, because cross-referencing the Chieveley ancient Saxon charter S558 with Leckhamsted's, which I've forgotten the Sawyer number of, which is around about the same day. It talks. The Leckhamsted charter also talks about Dene, and then it says come as far as Gydda, Dene, and that's where we are. This is the Dene, and you might be able to see it forms a valley. And quite often I find in Wessex, Denes are dry valleys. I don't know whether that's a thing or not. So does that name survive today? Well, it doesn't. It's obviously a Saxon, Old English word. It doesn't quite fit modern conceptions of what English should be. But there is a farm called Gidley Farm just over there. It's that Gyd part. Shows a progression from Old English to modern English. And this here, Gidley, is that Gydda. Now a lot of Old English lost all its declensions and case endings, probably because of nobody who was posh spoke English after the Norman invasion. So we all dropped our T's and spoke English in a colloquial manner. So all the complicated parts disappeared. So Gyddan became Gyd, or Guddan became Gyd. So Guddan means Gydas. A lady called Gydda owned this land, and this is her Dene. And Gidley is the Lee of Gydda, and that's over. So this a Lee means either rough pasture, a clearing in a wood, or a wood. And as you can see, it's good, solid. It's pasture. So this is the Lee of Gydda. So we're not. So even though a lot of things we're seeing in this landscape are 18th, 19th, 20th century, we're also looking back 1,000 years. This is Gydda's Lee. Hello. Who are you? Do you want to be on YouTube? No, get off my sandwiches. No. Just bumped into while I was fending off those dogs trying to get hold of my Stilton, and their owner came past, and he owns Gidley Farm. So that was interesting. So Gidley had a chat about the anglo-saxon origins of the name of his farm, and that's always nice to do. So I found out this field over here is called 60-acre field. So that's today. So that's a little piece of information I can mark on the map. Or something like that, this row of trees. It's not anything to do with the warren. It's It's a corruption of the Old English, which I've forgotten. I'll put it fancy lettering, but it means the warding hill, and it's not this side of the Dene, it's just over there. It's another 200 yards that way, and either people got confused about it, or the whole area becomes about warding. Ward means to guard, to look, to watch out, to be a warder, like a warden in a prison or a school or whatever. And so this area here would have done that, had that role. Now incidentally, there are other places, like there's a field called Totterdown next to Bussock Wood, the Bussock Hill Fort, a mile and a half, 2 miles that way. And Totterdown means to watch. Down is Dune hill, and to tot is to sneak a look, to peep out and watch. And that's so we've got 2 watch out places in this area.